is over 50, so what? I'm Carol. Now, I don't know about you, but I've noticed that I've put on a bit round the middle over the last few years. And it does seem to get harder and harder to keep your tummy under control. Today, our first guest is weight loss expert Jamie Hayes. And Jamie's going to share with us some eating tips and habits to help keep our middle under control. Please join us in the 5-minute fitness segment after the break. And then we're going to meet everyday legend Jeremy Bingham. Jeremy, in his 50s, started a new marriage, a new role as mayor, and he took up triathlons. And then in his 60s, he took up theatre sports. Enjoy the show. Today, we continue our discussion on how to keep the tummy fat under control with Jamie Hayes, weight loss and fitness veteran from Healthy Inspirations. Jamie and his wife, Alan, started Keto Fitness, which has helped over 15,000 women to lose weight. Hi Jamie, welcome to Over 50 So What? Great to have you back on the show.
Hi Carol, and it's great to be here.
What are we eating, or what should we be eating for health and weight loss, weight control?
What we used to be able to eat when we were 10 years younger, 20 years younger, 30 years younger, maybe our bodies can't tolerate that and maintain a healthy weight anymore. So what we assumed was healthy, we should be able to eat. Maybe our body's tolerances have changed. Particularly, and all foods fall into 3 categories or are made up of 3 categories: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, proteins provide essential amino acids. We all need those. They're essential because your body can't make it for itself. So we need to intake protein. So I really encourage everybody to prioritize protein in every meal, if you have breakfast, if you do eat breakfast, prioritize protein in breakfast. If you do have a snack, prioritize protein in the snack. If you do, when you have lunch, prioritize protein. Dinner, prioritize protein. I'm not saying a high protein diet. I'm saying optimal protein. I'm not saying minimum protein needs. I'm saying optimum protein needs. Probably more than you're used to, because one of the benefits of that, particularly for weight control, is the satiation, or it keeps you fuller for longer. So people who optimize their protein tend to find that they're less hungry through the day and they actually eat less calories. So calories count, you just don't have to count them. So we've got proteins, then we've got fats. Now, we don't really have to add much fat, particularly if we're having the naturally occurring fat in meats, fish, eggs, things like this, maybe a little bit of olive oil or a little bit of fat in something like an avocado, that's fine. But I would avoid the manufactured fats, the polyunsaturated seed oils and all those things. Definitely a little bit of butter when you're cooking, fine, all that sort of stuff. Butter's not the problem, it's what you put the butter on. So we've got protein, we've got fat. So we want to keep those fats down because generally we've got excess energy. And the other one is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are mainly present in cereals, grains, bread, pasta, rice, starchy vegetables like potatoes, things like that, and high sugar fruits. And there is no such term as essential carbohydrates. So we can almost get by with almost none, down to the equivalent of 4 teaspoons of sugar per day. Not that I suggest you have that. So what I would suggest everybody does is when you prioritize protein, add some green leafy vegetables because they are very low carbohydrate load. So in all meals, try and put some greens on there. Minimize the starchy vegetables and also minimize high sugar fruits. So here, actually in my water, I'm having a lemon. Now a lemon is a low sugar fruit. So I'm putting a bit of lemon in my water. So, and if you say, I'm going to eat every meal on a plate with a knife and fork. So breakfast, I'm going to cook up some protein, maybe eggs and bacon and things like that. I'm going to add some greens, some spinach. I'm going to eat it with a knife and fork. At lunch, I'm going to have a salad, but with a good chunk of fish in that salad. At dinner, maybe I've got a good sized pork chop, with a whole lot of greens around it. So we're really, what I'm saying, prioritize protein, eat off your plate, minimize the fats, but having the naturally occurring fat that comes in the meat and the fish, and then have loads of those green leafy vegetables. So we've got a high nutrient diet. And if you do that, you'll stay satisfied, your insulin levels will come down, and you'll find, gee, my tummy is going down.
Now, what about alcohol? Where does that fit into the equation?
Doesn't. Except, let's face brutal reality, that for many it's a part of life. Now, firstly, I'm going to put it out there. Ethanol, which is a poison to humans, which comes in alcohol, there is no net health benefit to drinking alcohol, despite what we've said. Oh, I believe wine's healthy, or a little bit of beer is healthy and things like that. The study's gone in and out. There is no net health benefit to drinking alcohol. But if you do choose to drink it, and excuse the phone ringing over there, if you do choose to drink it, don't drink it for thirst. So always drink. So here we've got some lovely water. Drink water for thirst, never alcohol for thirst. So, have plenty of water or tea or coffee throughout the day. And then let's say it comes to wine o'clock. What's that, 6 o'clock or whatever it is. And you fill that glass of wine. Always have a glass of water first. And so drink wine for flavour, water for thirst. So whenever you top up one glass, always add that. And you really want to monitor exactly how much you're drinking. So you and say, okay, I'm going to give myself a glass of wine with a meal, and I monitor it. So what makes it difficult? Let's say you're sitting at a table and somebody keeps on topping up your wine glass. It's difficult to monitor it, isn't it? The golden rule is drink water for thirst, grog for flavour, and have some alcohol-free days every week. If you cannot go without alcohol a few days, you've got to face the brutal reality. Gee, do I have a problem? Is that a choice, or I'm having difficulty with that? So hopefully you are free to choose, which means, and the freedom to choose, I'm free to choose to have alcohol, but I'm free to choose not to as well. I didn't want to be boring there. But so you can really enjoy people's company. And let's say you're with your grandchildren. Are you going to serve them wine? No.
Good point. Now, when it comes to reading food labels, you've got some very quick and easy tips for this.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, Carol, and I know that you know, but just to really put out there, my tip to how to read food labels, if you want to lose weight and if you want to prevent disease, prevent illness, maximize your immune function. I learnt this tip from my grandmother, Miriam, and whom I called Mama. Because when she was out on the property, in the New England area of New South Wales, they only had fresh foods. They didn't buy food with labels. So the golden rule is don't eat food with labels, or minimize the amount of food you eat with labels. Buy foods, go into the supermarket, walk around the perimeter where firstly on the right, I'm thinking of my supermarket, on the right we've got all those veggies and fruits and things like that. Then we go to the meat sections, and then the dairy section, and then the eggs. Have those and avoid everything else. All those lines with the processed packaged foods, and which includes those processed oils, the polyunsaturated oils and things like that. So the golden rule in how to read food labels is just stop eating food with labels. Get fresh foods that you have to put in the fridge, not the pantry, the fridge, or go shopping every day. So you're always eating lots of fresh foods which are high in nutrient density and low in calorie density, and that will help protect your health.
Well, Jamie, thank you very, very much for all that great information today. I think everyone's very, very clear on what they should be doing to keep that tummy fat under control.
It's a pleasure, Carol, and just acknowledging once again everything I learned about food and nutrition I learned from my grandmother.
Welcome to 5 Minute Fitness. Get on your feet. Come and join in. Come on, up you get. You know you're gonna feel better. Just take a little toe tap to the front. That's it. Tap. And when you're relaxed, you can pop your arms in. And tap. Tap. If you haven't got up yet, you can tap where you are. And tap. Now we're going to walk forward. And tap, 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 tap. Walk back. And tap, tap. And forward. And tap. And back. Remember, the fitter you are, the more you can take your knees up. And tap. And back. And tap. Now, hold it there. We're going to take a lunge together. Lunge together. You can take a small one like this till you get fitter, and then bigger. Other side. Now, push off. Now you can make sure the knees are over the toes. Other side. Last one. Other side. One more. And walk it out. Now we're just going to tap to the side. We're going to tap to the side. And we go. Tap, 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 tap. And with the arms, when you're relaxed, tap side, tap. That's it. Looking good. Tap. Now, walk forward. And we're going to tap to the side. And back. And tap. Walk forward. Tap side. this is Everyday Legends. And I don't know if you've noticed, but in the title page for this segment, we have a gentleman standing with his wife and their bikes in the middle of a rail trail. Well, that gentleman is Jeremy Bingham. And today, Jeremy is our everyday legend. Jeremy was Lord Mayor of Sydney, which included being chairman of the Olympic bid committee, which secured the Sydney 2000 Olympics. He has over 40 years experience as a lawyer specialising in local government, town planning and environmental law. And he was still working right up to the age of 83. At 55, Jeremy decided to take up triathlons. And he was still doing triathlons right up to the age of 70, winning 23 trophies, including the 60 plus age group winner for the World Masters Triathlon. At 67, Jeremy also took up theatre sports, mime and salsa. He's just recently celebrated his 85th birthday, and he really is our everyday legend. Hi Jeremy, welcome to Over 50 So What. So fantastic to see you again.
Lovely to see you again too, Carol, and I must say you're looking more beautiful than ever.
Thanks a lot. Now I've just told everybody that you're the person with your wife Candy featured in the title page of our Everyday Legend. So people would have seen you with your bike and Candy over the weeks and months, but they've never met you in person. So, and you do have that photo there for a reason, because you are a legend.
Oh, a legend in my own mind.
Now, I've mentioned to everybody that you've took up a few things after you turned 55. You took up triathlons at 55, and you also later on at 67 took up theatre sports and mime. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Trying things new is important. You know, that's why we took up learning Italian, and yes, we knew someone who introduced us to theatre sports, and we thought that would be really something different. And what you need to keep your brain active is things that are different. Doing same old doesn't keep you young. And theatre sports, the whole point of theatre sports is spontaneity. When somebody makes a move, says something, you have to react spontaneously, immediately. And I'm a lawyer. Lawyers don't act spontaneously. Lawyers think everything through and, weigh up all the consequences. So for me to have to respond immediately was a huge change, and it was very good for me.
And so you learnt Italian as well, and then you took your skills to Italy to practice, is that right? And do some Italian cooking as well?
Learning the Italian language was not easy. We went across to Italy to learn from the ad said we would learn from a chef. We would learn to cook and speak Italian at the same time. In
your 50s and 60s, if you can think back that far, what motivated you to keep trying new things and keep doing triathlons and different activities?
At age 53, I became Lord Mayor of Sydney. I'd been on the City Council for some time, but I'd always wanted to be Lord Mayor since I was a boy, and that was something very important to me. And same year, I married Candy. That was important to me as well. My third wife, I might say, Candy. And so it was important that I make this one work. We've been married 34 years. So as Lord Mayor, at the same time as marrying Candy, then we took up triathlon. And as you know, Carol, because you were part of it, we did triathlon for 15 and 17 years. And that's very good for life skills. Triathlon is like practice for real life. It's wonderful.
I know you're really passionate about the city of Sydney, and that's why you were, passionate about your role as mayor, and that sort of motivated you back then. What motivates you now?
What motivates me now is to enjoy my life, and now to give back to Candy, my wife, what she gave to me when I was Lord Mayor. She was a terrific backup for me as Lord Mayor. And the other thing is having fun, because having fun doesn't stop when you get to be 50, Carol. One of my philosophies is don't take yourself too seriously. The world is not about you. You're here too, but there's 6 billion other people in the world as well. So the world is not about you. Don't get resentful about things. Don't carry grudges. Just get on with enjoying life. That's what it's for. You're not here for very long. And get on with it. Be positive about it. It's not just think positive, but be positive. It's nothing as satisfying as doing something to help make the world or your community a bit better. You can't make huge changes. You're not a Nelson Mandela of this world, but every time, everything you do has this little bit of shoves things a bit to the good side or a bit to the bad side. So that's what you can do, and you go to bed at night and you feel really happy.
So I understand you're still doing personal training. So tell us about your fitness activity at the moment.
First of all, I have a personal trainer, and I have a 1 hour one-on-one session with her twice a week, and she really works me out. But she keeps me very fit, keeps me from turning into a wrinkled old bent man. And we kayak twice a week. We're on the water at 7 a.m, which is easy enough in summer, but we do it all year round. But that's a fantastic way to start the day, kayaking. And then I do pump classes with Candy, where you pump iron to beaty music like we used to do in the old days of aerobics. I still walk and swim, of course, when they're warm up. I try to do at least an hour's physical activity every day. You've got to work out every day, as you know, otherwise you fall to bits. So
that keeps your body together. So how do you keep your mind active?
Cryptic crosswords, I've taken them up with a passion.
I couldn't get my head around that if I tried.
Well, I love it. I absolutely love it. Other things to keep my mind active. I've got groups of friends that I meet with regularly to talk about what's happening in the world. So it's important that you keep up to date with world affairs, I think.
With your physical activity, though, you've had a few hiccups with you. Like you said, you've got bad feet at the moment, and you've had some other physical things, but that hasn't stopped you from exercising.
Well, I had a stroke back in my triathlon days, and they couldn't find out what was wrong because I was very fit. I finally worked out by medical examination that I had a hole in my heart, which I've had since birth. And I was doing triathlons right up to that point. And that used to sometimes send me into tachycardia, where your heart's going like this and you can't move. And I just sit and wait till that pass and continue the triathlon. But they fixed that. Now I've still got permanent arrhythmia, which some people find stops them doing things. But it's better just to accept what's there and move on. If you're looking for an excuse to be sick, there's always plenty of excuses to be sick. But if you're motivated to be not sick, well, then don't be sick. For that, it's better to just ignore it and box on.
That's why you're a legend. Now, I know you've answered this question already about what advice would you give to someone in their 50s or 60s about how to make the most of life? You've said already about not to be resentful, to try new things, not to let, physical things stop you. Have you got anything you want to add to that?
What you learn in triathlon is it gets hard. It gets uncomfortable, it hurts. And if you're serious about it, you dig deep and you keep going in spite of the fact that it's hard. I think a lot of people don't understand that. When they embark on something and it gets hard, they quit. And my message is, don't quit. If it's a worthwhile thing that you're doing and it gets hard, then just dig deeper and try harder and keep going. Even if you don't think you're making a lot of headway, keep going. You can't expect everything you do in life to be a piece of cake. A lot of it is hard work. And if you're serious about a marriage, you've got to put a lot of hard work into that. It didn't just happen that we've been married for 34 years. We both worked at it very hard and with a lot of commitment and a lot of hard work. So what I'm saying is, don't take the view that you can get up in the morning and have a breezy day and that's how life is. If you're doing anything worthwhile, which you should be, then it's going to be hard, and you should be working hard at it. And that makes you feel good.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Jeremy, and sharing your pearls of wisdom. You're obviously very wise, as reflected by your silver hairs up there. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure talking to you again, Carol, and good luck with your show.
We hope you have some inspiration to keep that tummy fat under control and to try some new things like theatre sports and maybe learning Italian. Now, if you'd like more information on Jamie and healthy inspirations, please go to our website, carolohalloran.com. And please join our Facebook group, Over 50 So What, and subscribe to YouTube, and then you never miss out on a show. And there's plenty of fitness videos. Now today, Jeremy's 3 key messages for health and happiness were: keep moving every day, keep trying new things, and if things get tough, just dig deeper and keep going. I'm Carol. See you next time. Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?